What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today we are going to be doing another Killstreak breakdown. This time actually using my own gameplay once again, and this is actually the same footage that I used in the OBI-WAN hero guide, a 42 kill streak with OBI-WAN Endor. Now, as always, if you guys want to submit your own gameplay to be broken down, then there is a link in the description of all of my videos. I generally only do streaks between about 40 to 75, just because that's a very obtainable kill streak for any newer or less experienced players to get. So I'm definitely just going to be keeping it to that sort of sweet spot where it's still a really decent streak, but it's not too high to where none of us regular guys are going to be able to get that same type of gameplay. Now, just quickly before we get into the video, and if you're not too interested and you just want to get to the gameplay, then there is a timestamp in the description. But I wanted to announce that I have actually just partnered with a company called Glitch Energy, who make a healthy alternative to an energy drink that gives you guys a nice kick of energy and sort of helps you get through the day, and it also tastes amazing. The reason I bring it up in this video specifically, and just so that you're aware, this video itself isn't sponsored. They haven't paid me for this or anything like that, but yeah, the reason I bring it up in this video is because whenever I'm trying to sweat for a kill streak and, you know, trying to get some good gameplay, I always love to drink Glitch just because it does give me that boost of energy and kind of gets you in the zone. And so for all of you guys who regularly watch kill streak breakdowns, I thought you guys might be interested in Glitch. Now, if you are interested in picking some up, I do actually have a 25% off code with them, so you guys can get it for 25% off with code SAMMY, and there's a link to their site in the description if you guys do want to check it out. They have tons of good flavors, and they actually have a starter kit for anyone who's not too sure where to start. So if you are interested in that and you want to support me and my content, then definitely head to glitchenergy.com and use code SAMMY at the checkout. Again, this video isn't sponsored by them, but I just wanted to announce that as I am pretty excited to be partnered with them. I legitimately drink this stuff every other day or so, and so I'm really happy to be working with those guys. But anyway, with that out of the way, let's not waste any more time and let's get stuck into the gameplay. So like I said, this is an OBI-WAN kill streak on Endor, and we've got the 2 star cards there with the added stamina. And then we also have the forward card, which is the one that adds the damage to his defensive rush ability. For me personally, these are pretty much the only cards I use. I do have a few others that I sometimes will toggle between, but those are just like the 3 that I generally will end up going with. And this is a pretty short streak. It is a 42 streak, like I said, but it is also really quick as well. That's kind of the reason I showed it, actually. Usually the kill streaks that I show are, you know, between, I don't know, 10 to 15 minutes, somewhere in that range. And I think this one was about 7 minutes 30, so that's essentially why I wanted to show it, just because it is a bit more of an aggressive kill streak. The death was completely my fault, and it was just because I sent it way too hard. But yeah, I just wanted to show a more aggressive one and show, you know, the ways that you can do well when you're playing aggressive, as well as the things to not do, because that's always a big part, especially when I go through my own gameplay. It's pretty easy to, you know, pick up what I was doing wrong. If I'm breaking down someone else's kill streak, it's hard to tell what they were thinking at the time and stuff like that, but at least for me, I generally know if I die and it was my fault, I can kind of break that down and explain what I did wrong. And that's probably arguably the biggest part of the breakdowns, is not going through what I did right, but actually what I did wrong. So there's pros and cons to how I played in this skill streak, and we are going to go through both of those right now. Now, this little sort of like pathway here that you're going to see in a second, a lot of people probably don't know about this, especially newer players, but if you guys didn't know about this little track up here, this is probably the best way to get past enemies up here. You can see I'm already behind like 3 or 4 here, and I do pick up a couple of kills, and that's honestly the best way to avoid damage. Obviously in this phase here, it's pretty hard to push up there because everyone's kind of blocking the, you know, this pathway and then the one on the other side as well, because no one really wants to run through the middle there. So that's a really great way of getting up there without having like 20 people trying to shoot at you at once. It's not going to get you an extra 20 kills, but it is very handy to know. So hopefully you guys did learn something from that. Now, right here, you're going to see me trying to take out this Death Trooper, and you'll see that ATST noticed me straight away, and the first thing I did was just run. You don't ever want to, and I've kind of covered this in a few other ones, you don't want to challenge vehicles as a Saber hero. They are just impossible. There's really, I know now you can kind of attack their feet and stuff. You couldn't do that back in the day, but yeah, they're just not worth it. They're gonna melt you pretty much every time. You're gonna have to get pretty lucky to do anything against them. So you could see there that like it shot at me once and I literally just ran because there's no point. And using the sort of catwalks up above the trees here, this is a great way of, kind of the same as that other path that I showed you. It's a great way of getting between each side, and you can see there's also a lot of people just like chilling up here. These are generally where the bots all hide up the top here. But yeah, this is a great way of getting between each side of the map without having to deal with those vehicles. And even just heroes and stuff, like not many people actually go up there you know, when they're a hero, or you won't find many, like say, death troopers or stuff like that up there. It's usually just people sniping, and they're pretty oblivious. So one thing you want to do is always try and make the most of those, and whether you want to do it to try and get a few kills, or whether you just want to do it to switch sides of the map, I would honestly recommend doing that at least a couple times in this phase, just, you know, switching sides of the map through that, because you'll pick up a few kills, and it is just the safest way to do it anyway. Now we head down here into the tunnel section, and this is another sort of like map situational tip. Like I mentioned with the treetops, is that using these caves to your advantage is also a great idea as well. You can see there's just a bunch of enemies just like chilling above it, and you do see that I start to take some damage. Now with those sort of the health cards with Obi-Wan there, his regen is just crazy. So I know that I can get down to like 350 and I don't have to really worry. So once I started to get down, yeah, towards that, I think it was like 380 or something like that, that's when you want to start falling back. And those cave systems are really good for that. There's one on the other side here, which I do move over to in a second. And yeah, most of the tips that are coming from this Killstreak breakdown are just going to be to do with like map situation more than, you know, specific tips, because most of this Killstreak is just done by being in the right spots of the map and making the most of the map. And there's a prime example just there. Obviously the ATST is kind of onto me there again, so I just fall back to the cave system, and I'm kind of making the most of these different areas of the map to avoid the really dangerous areas, and I guess like reassess my situation. And you can see I've run out here. That ATST was completely clueless, so I wouldn't recommend doing that normally, but I just saw him go straight past me, so he obviously wasn't the best driver there. But yeah, using the like sides of the map to your advantage, the caves, the treetops in the earlier phase, stuff like that, that is generally on this map what's going to help you get kills. You can see here that now I've kind of flanked around the back, and again, it's just coming down to map situation and map awareness really, that I'm picking up a few kills here. And yeah, just trying to play it a bit safer while getting, you know, maximizing kills, but not putting myself in a really, really dangerous position. Now, we do get pushed here by a Palpatine, and you can see that he's sort of draining a bit of my health there. I was in a fair bit of trouble here, so I tried to just push him away and then essentially just get out of there. What I did wrong here was I probably should have switched sides of the map, because I'm pretty sure an ATST was kind of firing at me there, and then this guy was pushing me with the Vanguard. I should have just really switched sides of the map, but I kind of did also have to, like, I had to hold my ground against this guy, because he would have just killed me from behind otherwise. So that was probably the reason that I got stuck there. It ended up working out quite well, because Palpatine was really hurt, and you can see that I just got a free kill on Palpatine, so it kind of worked out in the end. But you can see that I'm like caught in a little swing spam fest here. I'm starting to panic, you can tell by the way that I'm playing. So I probably should have switched to the other side earlier. You can see that I've done that now, and this is the right way to do it. When you're getting pushed on one side of the map, you want to generally just get to the other side. But you could see there that, like, yeah, I was low on stamina, low on health, and I was starting to sort of panic a bit, and I should have just switched sides earlier. Luckily, it didn't cost me, and then when I do finally switch sides there, we luckily kill Kylo. So things are kind of just going in my favor right now, but I know, like, I remember when I was playing this that, yeah, things were getting pretty lucky for me, and it wasn't just to do with me doing well, it was more because I was just getting a little bit lucky. Now, once again, I do change sides of the map here, and that's, again, something that you should always be doing. When you get a few kills on one side, you just want to switch to the other side, because generally that's just the way that it works. If you kill a bunch of people on one side, the people who are going to target you, they're going to push back to that side, and then the ones who want nothing to do with you, who are the easy targets, they're going to go to the other side. So you kind of want to follow those ones who are the easy targets, and then the ones who are hunting you, they're going to get lost when you switch sides of the map. So you can see here now that pretty much everyone on this side is just, like, most of them are troopers. We do see a Maul there, and no spoilers, but Maul does end up killing me. That's the place that I go wrong. But you can see there's a bunch of troopers around here, and at this point I knew that I was doing fairly well. I had, I think, close to 40 kills, and it was a pretty quick streak. So I unfortunately got into that kind of mindset where I'm just, you know, I'm trying to send it too much. I'm trying to get a quick 50, and then once you get to 50, you just don't really care anymore. And yeah, I got way too ahead of myself here. Me and Maul had kind of been, like, just coexisting at this point. We hadn't really, like, we'd been running around each other and not really fighting each other. So I kind of felt a bit safe around Maul in a weird way. Like, we just seemed like we wanted to avoid each other. And then, as you can see here, I just got caught in the dumbest position. If I replay that for you guys, you can see that I think I got hit with a Vanguard, then I got shot at by a Death Trooper as well as their grenade, and then I'm pretty sure Maul ended up killing me there. So I lost about 400 damage in like the blink of an eye, but it wasn't that I was going to die there anyway. It just happened to be really quick, but I probably was going to die there anyway. So the issue that I made there, which this is literally just, I sound like a broken record, but every time I have a kill streak, this is the same thing. I get too ahead of myself in that, you know, you get that number. For me, it's usually about 40, where once I get to 40, I don't really care anymore, and I'm just trying to get as many kills as I can, because I know that I'm probably going to die eventually. Like once you get to that point, for me personally, I just generally tend to die anyway. So I generally just get locked into that, like, all right, let's just send it and see if we can somehow get a, you know, an 80 kill streak. If you go really hard, you can kind of exponentially grow that kill streak. So pretty much the same issue that I always have there. But most of what I wanted to show in this kill streak was just to do with the map positioning and the situational awareness and stuff. Navigating around Endor can be tough if you're always above ground, or, you know, just on the regular ground rather than in the caves or on the treetops. That can be a bit of an issue for you. So I just kind of wanted to show off the cave systems and the treetops and stuff like that, and sort of show how you should be moving around the map. Unfortunately, I obviously choked it there, and I didn't get to show the second half of the map, which is where you can rack up even more kills. So I'll probably try and get another Endor kill streak, because they can be really good, especially if you get into that last phase. You can get some really big kill streaks. But at least for that early sort of, you know, the first half of the map, hopefully I did show you guys a few quick tricks on essentially just how to navigate the map and, yeah, maximize your positioning in order to get more kills in kind of a safer way than normal. So anyway, that is going to do it for this one, guys. If you enjoyed the video, then be sure to leave a like down below, and if you are new, then consider subscribing to the channel with those notifications on. Like I said earlier, if you guys are interested in Glitch Energy, then be sure to check out the link in the description. And like I said, if you use code SAMMY at the checkout, you can actually get 25% off. They have those starter kits for about $15, and then with code SAMMY, that's, you know, $3 or $4 off, and that does help support me a lot on the channel. So if that does interest you guys, then be sure to check that one out. Thank you all so much for watching. You guys have a great day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.
Crush them! Make them suffer!